Hello, my name is Samuel and I'm doing a quick rundown of how my inventory system works. What I've done is I've taken my main game cube and taken all the scripts out which have anything to do with the inventory system and put them into their own .blend so other people can use it. I'm not very code savvy. I'm not that great, but I haven't seen many inventory systems on the forums or anywhere. So I thought I might have a crack at doing one, and this is what I came up with. It's a few weeks of work, and before this works for you, when you get the blend, you've got to make sure you set your path, which can be found in the main script on line 79 and in the menu script line 29. I've already done it. It's the same path as the .blend file. If you don't have it with the same path as the .blend file, you need to go and replace all the areas which it's relative with your new path as well, not just adding that. So if it says main save, you're going to take this line, put it there, and if it says main.bge conf, you're going to take this line and replace the logic expand path line of script there, and you need to do that in any instance where relative path comes up as far as the saving and loading system is concerned. So this should work. Let's give it a go. If we hit P, we go into play mode, and there's a few omissions that I've made from the script, such as menus. I presume your game is going to have your own menu, so all I've done is provided a placeholder with buttons. If you want to have multiple save versions, this script is very compatible. All you have to do is a few slight changes with the way it loads, and that's it. So new is our first button, continue is our second, load is our third, and quit is our last. So we're going to hit new, and it's going to create a main BGE conf, and we're just going to move around with our main object that is our default cube there, and we're going to click up and get all these items into my inventory. So if I hit I, it opens them all up here. I can then equip these by clicking on them, like so. This is all just placeholders, just so my system has a sort of demonstration before you use it in your own game. And we can right click to drop everything, like so, but we can't drop the monkey because it's currently equipped. So I'm just going to left click it. Now I can drop it. Now as you can see, the inventory doesn't update itself. We've still got all the numbers there. You have to close it and reopen it for it to update. This is because I don't know what your game is like. I don't know whether the main scene is going to be paused when it's open and resumed when it's closed, in which I don't have to make it updating, so I put in the extra effort, or if you're going to have the game still running while it's open, in which all you have to do is change a few lines of code and you'll be perfectly fine. So let's pick up the monkeys and the spheres. As you can see, they're split up so that they're nice and evenly distributed. The highest count of the object goes in the first slot, and it filters down from there. So we're gonna hit save, which is S, and then I'm gonna drop all these on the far end over here and quit. So now if I hit continue, it's going to have our free spheres and our monkeys at the back like we left it, but if I hit load, they're gone and still in my inventory. That's how it works, and that's pretty much it. Another thing that we can say is it is very kind as far as it comes to sorting it out in the slots. A little Suzanne here, there's only one, but there is a quantity of 9 when you pick it up, and its max quantity is 4, so when I pick it up it's going to split into 4s until there's none left. So we've got 4, 4, 1, which is 9. Our spheres, you got 15 there, but there's only room for 18, so if you pick up another one, it'll go to 18 and split the 12 off to the next one. And if we pick up our triangles, we've got 12 there, but their max quantity is 24. So if I pick up all 3, it'll split 24, 12. It also remembers when you drop it. So if I drop this 24 stack here and pick it back up, I still got 24. If I drop the one monkey, 18 spheres, pick up 18 spheres, and then the one monkey, it'll remember that and put it into the first slot, the first available slot. What else can I talk about? How the thing runs. Sorry, I'm running Fraps and it's not working with dynamic windows, so I can't open up external files outside of Blender which will record. But I'm going to just do a quick rundown. Hopefully my description will work nice enough. You have 3 .csv files. One is called the items.csv, one is called place.csv, and one is called, oh, what was the other one? Slots, of course. Slots.csv. And how it works is, if we go into our main scene here, we have a spawner, which is just an empty here, and this spawns in the objects from the .csv, which means you can add as many objects as you want in any position you want with whatever properties you want. All you have to do is make alterations to the CSV. If you want to add properties that aren't currently supported, all you have to do is add that into the code. It's very easy. It'll tell you where you can add such things if you look at it. So how it works is you have an object's ID, which is I0001, which is the first one, which is the default item, which is equipped. You can't actually place that one. It's just a null object. The next is I0002, which is a cube, which has a quantity of 1 and a max quantity of 1, which means when you pick one up and then you pick the next one up, they will take up 2 slots. And you can set that for anything you want, your own objects. You can then, what are some of the other settings? I'm just trying to remember. You have active, which just sets whether whether the player can pick it up with the character, and I think that's it. And then if we go to the, what's the next one, placed.csv, this is taking the object's ID, giving it a new ID for its placed, which means you can have more than one object in different positions. Then you get an X, Y, and Z. And even though the .csv is showing an integer, it does read floats, so you can add 0.99999 and it'll go to 0.9999 on the x-axis, wherever you want. Sorry for the noise in the background. And then, what else is in that script? After the location, oh sorry, I forgot in the items.csv, you have a cost there. Now the cost isn't actually activated by my script, it is in my actual game, but I don't know what you want in your game, so I've removed that, just haven't removed it from the .csv, just to show you that you can add whatever you want. You can add damage amounts, you can add all the stats to whatever item you can pick up into the game. All you have to do is write in the script how it's going to read this line, and it's all laid out for you already, so it should be no problem. All you have to do is copy what I've already done, and if you can understand it, you can do it. And then the placed, once it gets its location, adds in, it checks if it's active or not, and that's pretty much how that script works. And then you have the slots.csv, which is just a default for and corresponds with how many slots you have here. So I have 10 slots, so I'd have 10 slots listed there. They will all be empty because that's what I have when I start the game, and they'll all have a quantity of 0. Because that means you can add items into your inventory before the game begins, which is very handy. The other two .blend files, the objects that the .csv is reading, and we have a libload library loader in the scripts in this main .blend, and it adds the corresponding ID. You got to make sure when you create your own or add your own objects to that .blend that the name of the object is the ID from the item CSV, and that the mesh is also the ID. The same for the slots.blend. I have just a copy of it off my items.blend, but I've got that split because sometimes you may want to have something different displayed in your inventory as to what's the ID is, what the object is. So in my game, they're images instead of objects, but just for the sake of this demo, they're just a direct copy. Of course, that isn't very optimized if you have huge meshes in your inventory needing to be displayed. It's quite good to keep whatever's in that inventory quite low in computer processing, whatever it needs, because it does have to be, it is a scene that gets overlaid. What else do I have to explain? Physics aren't enabled because that's just a sort of default setting. If you want to add physics, you're going to have to add some kind of spawn device around the character, otherwise it's going to be causing some messy physics problems by spawning inside of our character. And to change that, all you have to do is go to inventory and replace this line here, line 51, change the character to whatever object you want it to spawn from. What else can I say? I have no idea. It's all pretty self-explanatory. A script, it's nothing too revolutionary. Sorry, there's quite a lot of scripts here, but there's quite a bit going on. What else can I explain? You have an infinite amount of slots that you can put into your inventory. You can have as many as you want. Lucky you. All you gotta do is make sure you name it appropriately. So you have text 1 and slot 1, text 2 and slot 2, text 2 and slot 2, and all the mesh data for the empty slots is the same, so you got to use Alt D, but the text doesn't matter as long as the name is sort of corresponding to what slot it's by. And once you add more slots or reduce the amount of slots in this default script, there's two things that you have to change. You have one here which ranges from 1 to 11. Say if you want to have 100 slots, it will be arranged between 1 and 101, so it can recognize all. That's one area you got to change it in. The next is, I forgot where it was. It's in one of these scripts. I know I wrote it down, and it's inventory. I went to inventory. Wrong one, and here we go. So you're going to need to change that as well. Same as last time. And that's pretty much it. It means you can add whatever item you want into that items.blend. As long as the IDs correspond, you can add it wherever you want, and you can do whatever you want. And pretty much the rest of it's up to you. This is a nice shell script, so you got to add to it. It's kind of important that you add to it. You can't just use it as it is because it's not that advanced. I'm not very psychic when it comes to writing scripts. I don't know exactly what everybody wants at once, but if you want anything added, or you want me to change anything, or you need help setting it up, my email's here, sam@time.org.nz. Just flick me an email. If you want to make improvements to it, feel free to send me an email as well, and I'll upload that. Just tell me what you've changed and give me your files that you've made from it. I would really like to see what you guys do with this script. That'll be quite cool. So yeah, hope to hear from you guys.